Hi, this is Suzanne in Ohio. I have a project share for you today, and I think this one's pretty interesting. Um, these are specialty items that I've made to go along with a journal. The journal that these go with it's big and elaborate and many subjects in it because I titled it Treasures. So it's a collection of things that you might love or have loved over your lifetime or have even saved. So it's kind of like scrapbook journal collection of your favorite things. So these things all laying here might not seem to go together, but they do go with different themes in the journal. So I want to show you these little items. Let's start out with bringing the camera down just a little bit lower. Hold on just a second. I'm very inept at this. There's an couple ocean themed pages in the journal. So I'm sending this little 3D diorama and I'm twisting it so you can see it without the glare. But it's an acetate window and seashells in it with a nice background and a famous quote. And I just put that together using corrugated cardboard, you can see, and an acetate window. And some seashells that I collected myself when I lived at Jacksonville, Florida, and Daytona Beach. So that goes with the journal. And this little vial with Daytona Beach sand in it and some seashells and even a crab's claw. You can see that right there. Let's see if I can get this camera to focus. I don't know if it will. Nope, it's not going to. Might have it on the wrong settings. I'm still very inept at this. So that's the one item that goes with Seashore. And then here's another one. This little booklet, front, back, and then when you open it up, there's some Seashore related prints. And I'll list whoever that was, Etsy seller, um, down below in the description. And you just simply open this up, and there's a lot of writing space here. And I created a small miniature little fishnet with all kinds of things on it that might come out of the ocean. I made these little, I think they're called Japanese glass floats. I made those and some seashells, seaweed, some little charms I had. There's a seahorse and makes a really cute little miniature 3D. And sometimes the fishermen hang their nets up on old buildings, so I put the wood grain in the back. So that just simply folds up like that. And then there's a little bead charm on the front, couple beads, and a tiny little seashell. So that little booklet goes right along with the seashore pages. Another item that goes along with the journal is this autograph book. I downloaded this image off of the net, a vintage book, and then mounted it on fabric covers. And I recreated the book just exactly the way the ones were made when I was a child. And then it's just full of plain pages, nothing fancy, just slightly distressed. And that can be filled in. She can write on that or add photographs or whatever she wants to do with that. So, and then she loves nature, and I do too, so that's one of the treasures. So I created this little field notebook. This is my own style. I just made it up as I went. And it has a little charm here, a little vial hanging on it, nothing written on it, plain paper, you can write on there. and a place to write your name. And then a little tag here, nothing on the back. And then as you open it up, it simply unfolds and unfolds. So we'll see if we can get it all in frame. Let's start over here on this end. This has some very interesting little tiny elements to it, and I want to show them to you. A vintage map of Stark County, Ohio. That's where she lives, near there. Little file folder facsimile pages that you can write on. And then a pocket here. And in that pocket, a pressed flower. Just some old papers that you could make field notes on or drawings. Old looking handmade labels on graph paper, scientific looking, and a little seed packet that opens up. It's got a glassine window in it, or acetate window. So those all fit right in there. I'm not going to try to get everything back right this. Well, maybe I will. What if I forget where I put them? Okay, and then here in this section, here's your actual little notebook. It's a nature print, and I had a moth, and I taped him right on the front there. When you open it up, I put a photo sleeve in there so you can put little dried flowers and things, and then some veined leaves that have been collected with some protection of tissue paper or tracing paper right there, and different pieces of paper. And this is if the person with the field notes had made their little drawing while they were out in the field. Woodland phlox. And then here's another one of chicory, or what we call cornflowers. Very old and distressed and vintage looking. Another little hand drawing of milkweed. And then a little pressed wild strawberry right there on coffee dyed paper. And then here's a little map that they drew of where they had been roaming around. A farm and a creek and the mill road, and then directions to the old mill pond right there. Just a nature print of a coneflower, little sketch. And this is the only modern thing I put in this book. I did a wood cutting, or I'm sorry, a lino cut carved stamp of a wild cucumber, and I stuck that in there. And then little piece of pine cone, some labels that can be used if you find some specimens or you're going to put something in an envelope and you need a little label for it. And then here's another vintage map of Ohio. And then over here is our little pocket. This is a 3D pocket. It sticks up about 3/16 of an inch, and it's got some cute things in it. Let me see here. Okay, I forgot to show you that. Just some little prints on there. And in that little pocket over here, I included 2 tape measures, handmade, one with inches, one with centimeters, because most field notebooks had a little guide down along the edge of the page where you could measure your specimens and then kind of write down how big they were. So these things are awfully cute. I'll show you one of them. This is the centimeter one, and it just simply unfolds. And I think the lighting might not be quite right, but it's real light pencil markings on there as if it's very old and worn out. So that's your tape measures. And then this was a special little map. I found this online, And it was so appropriate because it's a hand-drawn map of Fox Pond Estate. And this is probably where they roam most of the time to gather all their specimens and learn about nature. And then in your little kit is a little stick with tape wrapped around it. So if you need to tape something while you're out in the field, there you have it. And then these little envelopes with the name, just specimen written on it. 3 little envelopes for you to put treasures in if you find them. So I'll just slip that back in there, but then I want to turn this over and show you the other side of it. So well, let's just start folding it up. That'll work better. So here's another little pocket here with a little file folder in it. And then the back there is a top pocket, top loading pocket. And that has another vintage map. And then I created this, what I call little specimen color guide, specimen shades. And it's different shades of green, so that if you're collecting plant material, you choose the number of whatever color your plant is the closest to. And then there's 3 grades of color, A, B, C. So you might make your little drawing and then say it was a number 10B. And that's what color the leaf was or the plant material was when you found it. So I'll put all those things back in just a moment, but we'll move that out of the way. And then here's one more thing. This person is a nature lover, so I made her quite a few nature-related things. This I called Field Finds, and it's got a facsimile of a little belt, and then it accordions out. Now the back side is just plain. I believe these are Tracy Fox prints. I'll list all that stuff below. And then on this side is her collection, or a collection of a true field lover, nature lover person. So let's start up here in this corner. We have a moth here wrapped in some cellophane type thing. Here's a little place in the folder where you can stick bird feathers. So it's got 2 feathers in there. I was lucky enough to have a blue jay feather, so I included that. And then little papers here. And here's another little stick with tape wrapped around it. And then just old papers and another old map. That way you've got things to work with when you're out in the field. Okay, little pocket tuck spot here, and it has maple and ash seeds, and that person has labeled that. And then they found this at Miller's Pond, Mill Creek, and it's a camellia plant leaf. And this little dragonfly, he's been in here so long he's falling apart. But and here is strawberry, pressed strawberry, and a beautiful veined leaf. And these have captions. It says, found on the Hamrick Farm, October 10th, 1953. And then another moth, unknown name, has not been identified yet. So that little folder, just simply, I call it the Field Find folder, and it just folds up like that, and that's for your keepsakes. So all these little things go along with this journal, which I'm making another video today. So if you're interested to see what the actual journal looks like, tune in and you can see what these things all go with. Hey, thanks for watching, and please come again. Thank you for all my subscribers. I really appreciate it.